Hola amigos, saludos, soy Benito Lucio para Canal Hispano TV. Hoy este día es jueves, octubre 2. Precisamente ya nos falta un mes más para la elección aquí en Ohio, en todos los Estados Unidos. Hoy esta noche nos encontramos aquí en el downtown de Columbus, en el 740 East Long, el Zanzibar, un restaurante. Y hoy esta noche los amigos del LULAC Columbus, el Concilio 39005, están teniendo un evento que se llama Candidatos Night. La noche de los candidatos, esta oportunidad de conocer los candidatos locales aquí de Franklin County, de este condado, que están corriendo para diferentes puestos. Y este es un evento muy importante para nuestra comunidad, para que conozcan estos candidatos. Y son eventos que los amigos del LULAC organizan cada año para que usted en la comunidad latina esté al día con los candidatos, tanto como los republicanos y los demócratas, para que usted haga una buena decisión de su voto, ¿verdad? Porque pues es muy importante, amigos, su voto es su voz. Aquí en este país es muy importante ser parte del proceso político, y como me han escuchado en el pasado que he hablado que aquí en Ohio somos como 180,000 latinos que votamos, y esa población puede hacer una diferencia en una elección que está muy, como dicen, muy cerca, y hay que participar en el proceso. Ojalá que disfrute de esta tarde aquí con nosotros y póngale mucho cuidado a los candidatos para que usted haga una buena decisión a quién va a votar este año. Bien amigos, como le estamos diciendo que estamos hoy esta noche aquí en la Candidates Night, un evento patronizado por los amigos de LULAC Columbus, y nos encontramos con uno de los jóvenes líderes de la Ohio House aquí en Columbus, Ohio. Tenemos al Representative Michael Tinziano. And Michael, welcome to LULAC Candidates Night. How important is it for the Latino community to participate in the political process here in Columbus, Ohio?
Well, if people have concerns, questions, this is the first and foremost way in which to participate. Exercising your right to vote allows us to choose who you want to be your voice at the State House, on judicial benches, for auditor, for a number of races. So participating, getting registered is immensely important.
As a state representative for the Latino community, how can you help in your, why don't you tell them in the district that you're running for?
Sure. So I represent the 18th House District. It's most of Ohio State's campus, all of the short north, downtown Columbus, German Village, Marion Village, Bexley, Grandview Heights, most of Franklinton, a little bit of the Hilltop. It's the smallest district in the state of Ohio, but it's one that's densely populated with a lot of diversity and of exciting things going on.
And the Latino population, as you know, here in Columbus has been growing. What are you going to be doing in the future to get the community more involved with your office?
Well, first and foremost, my office is always open. We hold regular community meetings. We want people to call us if they have questions, concerns, or problems. That's what we're there for. I think people underestimate the value a state legislator can have. We're going to be their advocate as issues come up. We develop policy and laws that address their questions or concerns. So it can be on any issue. I might not be the exact perfect expert on it, but we will find the right people and be able to help on any issues that may arise.
Ya saben, amigos, los representantes y los senadores de Ohio, pues son muy importantes estar conectados con ellos, porque cuando se trata de asuntos de aquí en Ohio, ellos son las personas que nos pueden ayudar en el futuro. Again, I stress a lot to our community about voting. How important is it?
Well, prior to being in the State House, I was in charge of the Board of Elections of Franklin County. This is the first step to exercising your democratic right. It allows you to have a say just like anybody else. It doesn't matter your background, your social, economic, what job you have. Everyone has one vote, and that vote's very important to be voiced, to be expressed. It sets the policy and it sets the agenda for all of our community in the state.
Le queremos dar las gracias a Miguel Tinziano, amigos, el candidato demócrata para representante de Columbus. We wish you a lot of luck.
I appreciate it. And again, if I can be help and service on any issue, don't hesitate to call my office.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Candidates who are running for judge. So it might be good. It looks like a baseball card. sort of. You've got a baseball field in the back, and then those of us who are running under the Democratic ticket, if you are inclined to vote democratically, this will at least identify for you which are those candidates, and you can take that into the polling place with you. I'm running with a great team of colleagues this year, not just running for judge, but Mike Shattuck and Joyce Beatty and so many others. So thank you so much for having this event this evening, and I'll keep it brief so that you can move through the candidates and your feet don't get too tired.
Thank you very much. Next we have Michael Tinziano. He's House Representative, 18th District.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here, and it's exciting to follow former Secretary of State Jennifer Brunner. When I was in law school, I was an intern in the former Secretary's office, and she's been a wonderful mentor. She's going to do another amazing job serving Franklin County when she gets elected to the bench. As mentioned, State Representative Michael Tinziano. I'm seeking re-election to Ohio's 18th House District. I like to brag the 18th House District is the best 22 square miles in the state. It's 90% of Ohio City campus, all of the short north, downtown Columbus, German Village, Marion Village, sliver of Old Town East, all of Bexley, fit by Northwest Community, Grandview Heights, most of Franklinton, and a little bit of the Hilltop. It's the smallest district, but a wonderful district. We have a wonderful state senator, and Senator Tavares. Joyce Beatty is one of our 3 members of Congress, and we're always very fortunate to have her there as our voice in Washington, D.C. My messages to her are pretty simple. After working for Secretary Brunner, I became director of the Franklin County Board of Elections. I've talked to a couple of you tonight. There are only a few days left in order to get registered or change your address to vote. If you don't do that, you're going to have problems, and your vote's probably going to end up provisional. And the legislature, unfortunately, has made it more difficult to pass a provisional by adding additional fields. There's more you can do by making sure your address is registered at your current address, that you change your address and have that updated. We're 33 days from the election. It's up to you to figure out who's going to be your candidate, the voice you want to be representing you at all different levels. If it's county auditor, if it's on the bench, Secretary of State, State Senate, and in Congress, and statewide. These are important roles, and they dictate the policy and the direction that we're going to go. The second message is my office door is always open. We're driven by your ideas, your questions, your concerns. I can go through a list of policies that have come from my constituents, but 99% of them were ideas, and good ideas for us to pursue further. So my door is always open. I want you to know. Contact me, my aid, anytime you can be help or service. We provide a whole host of services, even if it's not just state issues, if it's county, if it's city. We have the helpful contacts, and we're not just following the phone chain. So again, appreciate the opportunity to be here. Always enjoy a good LULAC event. The punch, the food is always fantastic. So thank you for the opportunity to be here. Again, it's Michael Tinziano, running for the 18th House District.
Thank you, Michael. Up next, we'll have Joyce Beatty.
Thank you so much, and good evening. It's indeed my pleasure to be here. For those of you who don't know, I am Joyce Beatty, and I represent the 3rd Congressional District. I'm completing my first term, and let me just say to you the 2 most powerful words you can say, and that's thank you. Thank you for all your support to all the candidates who are here. Thank you for running and providing that service. I've had an opportunity to work with everyone who's in this room, and so I'll say what maybe they didn't say. Vote for them. So when you get to the judicial candidates and you see all of our candidates, vote for them. Jennifer Brunner is here. I'm sure Mary Jo Kilroy and others will be, and Young are here. So vote for all of our judges, our state rep. You know what? Just vote for the whole ticket. Just vote for the whole ticket. And lastly, because I know you have a lot of candidates, let me just share with you and say to you, LULAC, thank you for doing this. Thank you for being a part of our wonderful, rich, diverse community. And so often, candidates come and they say thank you and please vote for me. You should always say to all of us, what is it that you're doing as a candidate to make a difference? Hold us accountable, whether we are Democrat or Republican or independent or others. We have an obligation to serve you. We have an obligation to make sure that you are included in all the things we run on. We run on jobs and economic development. Ask people if they hire someone who is Hispanic or Latino or Puerto Rican in their offices. And if they say no, then tell them you will help them find somebody to round out their diversity. And let me just tell you, I practice what I preach. You have someone in this brochure, one of your very own, one of the most talented young folks that I've ever had the opportunity to work with, Karen Castro. And she's doing wonderful things, and I'm proud to say that she was one of my first hires in my congressional office because I believe in diversity, I believe in you, I believe in making a difference. Lastly, my staff told me I can't come back in the office unless I tell you that I supported 3 bills that were bills that LULAC and members of your community asked me to support. And your screen locked, so I can't read the technical language, but I bet you they know what it is. If I tell you I voted to make sure that we would give a gold medal, and in English we would say, and you would say, yes, thank you. I was one of the first to cast that vote. We have a lot of immigration laws that are in the books. I have been very supportive of immigration reform. Bottom line, I hear you, I listen to you, I support you. Vote Joyce Beatty, 3rd Congressional District. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Joyce Beatty. Next we have Judge David C. Young, Franklin County Municipal Court. Please welcome.
I would like to, it's very difficult to follow Joyce Beatty in any type of political thing. I am Judge David Young, and I've been a municipal court judge since 2011. Prior to that, I was in private practice for 25 years. I've represented a lot of Latino and Hispanic individuals. I also was a prosecutor, and I was highly recommended by the Columbus Bar Association. I was highly recommended by the trial lawyers, COAJ. I was preferred by the lawyers of the Columbus Bar Association, 76 to 24%. And one of the most important things that I have to tell you is my wife her mother is from Honduras. So I go to Honduras, and I used to say, remember November, but now that we have so much early voting, whenever you cast your ballot, be young, stay young, vote young.
We'll go ahead and move on to Bob Hart, candidate for U.S. Congress, 12th District, Ohio.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me here tonight. I'm Bob Hart, the Green Party candidate for Congress in the 12th Congressional District. The Green Party is a new political party in the state of Ohio who believes that we need alternative voices to the 2 major parties given the gridlock that we see in Washington that has now gone on for over a decade. By way of background, I was born and raised in Dayton, Ohio. My dad's a carpenter, my mom's a secretary. They worked hard to put me through college. I'm a union member, member of AFSCME. I went to high school in Dayton, college at Kent State University, went to law school at Ohio State. I retired from the Attorney General's office 3 years ago, and I'm doing pro bono work on behalf of activist organizations such as Occupy Columbus, Central Ohioans for Peace, the Newark 99%, and others. I'm a member of the Green Party because of the Green Party's commitment to economic and social justice, to diversity, to grassroots democracy, and its refusal to accept corporate or PAC money with respect to its political ambitions. Those are important to me. It also gives me the freedom to advocate for things the other 2 parties will not advocate for in the 12th District, such as an immediate increase in the minimum wage to $10.10 an hour, such as a commitment to full employment, which does not mean 5% unemployment, it means a job for every able-bodied worker. A full employment economy will help us transition, hopefully, to a peacetime economy. We're opposed to the current war. It's a fool's errand. We have a strong anti-war position. So, as a member of the Green Party, we urge you to look at us as an alternative party free from the influence of money, who can come out and talk on principle with you. And I want to leave you with one thought. Regardless of your political affiliation, The corrupting influence of money and gerrymandering on our politics has got to stop. We all have to work towards this, regardless of who we vote for. The gerrymandering of political districts plus the undue influence of money has led to 80% of congressional seats being non-competitive. I'm in a non-competitive district in the 12th against Pat T-Bear. To me, that's an unacceptable distortion of our democracy, and regardless of anything else you take away tonight, I would urge you to fight for democracy by ending gerrymandering and ending the big influence of money in our democracy. Again, my name is Bob Hart, Green Party candidate for Congress in the 12th District. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob Hart. Next, we have Star Johnson, State Senator, going for State Senator, 3rd Ohio Senate District.
Dios te bendigas. Hi, my name is Star Johnson. I'm running for Ohio Senate for the 3rd District. Many of you probably are wondering, what is the 3rd District? The 3rd District consists of Westerville, Whitehall, Gahanna, New Albany, Reynoldsburg, Blacklick, Canal, Winchester, Obetz, Groveport, the West Side Casino, and bits and pieces all in between. I'm born and raised here in Columbus, Ohio. I am a graduate of Columbus Alternative High School, graduate of Franklin University, and I have my master's in education teaching ESL from Concordia University. Although I'm a candidate running for state senate right now, I still actively teach in the classroom as an educator teaching English as a second language. I'm running for office because I believe that our government is not working hard enough for our working families. My opponent is Kevin Bacon, and at every turn he has tried to attack and tear down the working families, taking away the rollback taxes, the state taxes, and attacking our seniors with the homestead exemption. And that's not good. What that has done is it has provided a divide between state and local governments, and because of that, it has become taxing to our local governments, our our local school districts. For example, we have Reynoldsburg that's currently on strike, and it just has made it very hard for us to have the safety and security within our communities. I asked you for your vote today because I believe that we need to have someone who practices all-inclusive legislation instead of exclusive legislation. My opponent has not showed up to any forums because if you don't write a check big enough for him, he feels as if he doesn't need to talk to you. I respect the vote, and I am here to listen to you. So if you want someone in office who is working for a brighter Ohio, who believes that every working family in Ohio should be financially, emotionally, and physically supported, I ask again that you vote for Star Johnson, a voice for the working people, working for a brighter Ohio. Dios te bendiga, bendiciones, gracias. Next we have Scott Wharton, candidate House of Representatives, 15th District.
Thank you. I'm Scott Wharton, your local Democratic candidate for the United States House of Representatives. I grew up just down the road in Amanda, Ohio. I'm a graduate of Amanda Clear Creek High School and Ohio University. I am a retired Air Force Desert Storm veteran, and I turned that into a career at Delta Airlines. So if any of you have any questions about aviation tonight and ask, see me later, I'll try to answer them. If you're going to ask me about your luggage, remember that I can't help you because we don't work those, but it's gone. I also am a card-carrying union member, an affiliate of the AFL-CIO, and I own and operate the family farm. What I'd like to talk about currently is the least productive Congress in the history of the United States, our current Congress. Not only that, but they shut the government down last year for 16 days, costing $24 billion out of the economy. And they also like to kick the can down the road, not find permanent solutions, which is what they've done with immigration reform. The Speaker of the House has not allowed immigration reform to come up for a vote until after the election because he's afraid to allow the Republican House members to show where they stand on immigration reform. So what you want to know from me is I favor immigration reform and a path to citizenship. My opponent, his idea on immigration reform is he votes no on any type of reform and he wants to lock the borders down. So when it comes time to vote this fall, I wish you would remember that. Also, we have a very low turnout this year. Everybody thinks their vote doesn't count. This year, it counts more than ever. So I'm asking you all to get out and vote. Your vote can put me over the top, and I would appreciate your support. And I'd like to leave you with this. Every day when I go to work, hundreds of people trust me with their lives. You can trust me to be your representative, and I will support immigration reform. Thank you.
Next up, we have Valoria Hoover, the General Division Judge.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you accommodating me because I'm out of work. I'm running for Franklin County Common Police Court. It's an open seat. I'm glad to be back here with you all. We got some head shakers that everybody remembers that I was here in 2012. I really think that being on the Common Police Court is a very important aspect because justice is done there and you need to make sure that you're there to serve. My background is I was in the Army when I was 17 years of age, and I was in the criminal law division and did those aspects of things. I went to Miami University and I was the assistant manager of the Burger King, and that's where I learned customer service. And I think that it's really important to remember when you're a judge or a judicial candidate that it is about serving. It is about serving the people and making sure that those who come before you are able to have fair, effective representation in the law so that you can have the very effective justice done and the judge is there in order to make sure that occurs. I've been at the Court of Appeals and I was the staff attorney and I have been in the Supreme Court helping judges make those decisions. So I've had that experience before. I do general civil litigation and have for the past 15, 20 years, and also been special counsel to the Attorney General. I'm the president of the Ohio Women's Bar Association, helped create a leadership program there to help women become at the top of the partners list and on the executive committee, and that was necessary because I saw that women were not advancing as fast as they should have. Women in action to make sure that that is taken care of. And we are in our 5th year and we've already had many successes. I currently serve as on the state community colleges trustee, and I've been a contract coach for Woodward Park Middle School for the past 8 years. So I thank you very much for having me here. Gracias, and I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Hello, thank you for having me. Again, my name is Bill Arnold, speaking on behalf of UCAN, Ohio. For those unaware, UCAN, Ohio is the Universal Healthcare Action Network. Specifically, we're going to be discussing their Dental Access Now project we currently have going on. What we're doing is to work for dental health care to every community, obviously educate the public on the lack of access that folks are experiencing. There are currently 84 dental shortage areas in Ohio, so it's not surprising that 1.2 million working age adults have unmet dental needs, and nationally, tooth decay is the most common childhood illness, making it more common than asthma. So through the Dental Access Now project, Ohio has the opportunity to expand the dental workforce to provide the routine dental services communities need.
Thank you very much. Buenas noches. Me llamo Charleta Tavares, and I am your state senator for the 15th Senate District. We are in the middle of my Senate district. I represent State Representative Mike Tinziano, Representative Kevin Boyce, and the candidate for the office, the candidate is Herschel Craig. Those are the 3 House districts that are within my Senate district. I have been proud to serve the Latino Hispanic community over the last 4 years as your state senator. I've worked very hard on issues certainly DACA and ensuring that our children who are here in the United States that are going to school every day, doing what they're supposed to do, that we reciprocate and do what we should do and ensure that they get their education and that they can go on to college at a tuition that is in-state, resident of Ohio tuition. I'm also focused in on health care, which is a major issue with the Latino and Hispanic communities across the state of Ohio. I want to make sure that everyone has a strong, healthy child life, and I want to make sure that we have a strong education system. What I want is to ensure that the people of Ohio have all they need in order to have a safe, healthy, and prosperous life. I serve as the Assistant Senate Democratic Leader in the Ohio Senate. I also serve as the co-chair of the Ohio Constitutional Modernization Commission. We talked about redistricting and reapportionment. That's one of the ways that we can change the way we draw the district lines. We can also look at voting rights to ensure that those are in the Constitution rather than leaving it up to individual legislators to limit our ability to vote. And then finally, I just want to share in my other life, I serve as the Executive Director of the Multi-Ethnic Advocates for Cultural Competence. This is a statewide organization that works with many organizations, racial, ethnic, and cultural organizations to ensure that care is provided appropriately, culturally competent care, so that we get the best outcomes, whether we're talking about education, the criminal justice system, health and human services. We want care that's appropriate to the people. It's culturally and linguistically appropriate for the people that we're serving. So I appreciate my partnerships with OSHLA, the Ohio Hispanic Latino Affairs Commission, and also my friends with the Ohio Hispanic Coalition, LULAC, all of the organizations that are serving the people of Ohio. I would appreciate your vote. I thank you for providing this opportunity for all the candidates. Do hold us accountable. Don't just look at and hear what we say. Pay attention to what we do. That speaks volumes. God bless you.
Next we have David Levin, State Representative. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is David Levin, and first I want to thank each and every one of you for inviting me here to participate in this program. I was here last year. You kind of gave me a little bit of a warm-up for this race in 2013, so I appreciate that. I'm running for the House in Ohio House District 22. That's the Northland community, the North Linden community, the Clintonville community, and the Knowles community. And it is probably one of the most diverse districts in the state of Ohio. We have 40 or 40 different ethnic groups and nationalities within the district because it's a place where people feel comfortable and they live and they raise their families in that community. I've lived in the district for 44 years, and the centerpiece of my campaign has been going door to door to people's homes. I visited about 9,500 doors to this point. And when you go to people's doors, they tell you what they want you to do. And the people's been telling me that they want to have a good economy, they want to have economic security, and they want to have good jobs. They want to make sure that their kids get a good education. They want to make sure that their neighborhoods are strong and safe and secure. And they want to make sure that we protect our environment, all the resources that we have on this planet. And they also tell me one more thing, and that is, after you get elected, after the campaign's over, they want you to work together with whoever is willing to work together with you and get things done for the people of not only the 22nd House District, but for the whole state of Ohio. So that's what I'm going to do. Thank you for having me here today. I look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David. Next up, we have William H. Woods, candidate for Franklin County Common Pleas Court.
Hello, my name is William H. Woods. I'm a candidate for the General Division of the Common Pleas Court. By way of background, I grew up on a farm outside of Toledo, came to Franklin County in 1965 before to attend Ohio State. I have 2 degrees from Ohio State, a Bachelor of Science in Education. I was a high school teacher, speech and debate coach for 2 years. Then I went back to law school at Ohio State. While I was there, I was a member of the ROTC program at Ohio State and served as a second lieutenant in the U.S. Army. Graduated from law school with honors and have been practicing as a civil litigation lawyer ever since. The reason I'm running for the Common Pleas Court this year is that in Franklin County we're losing a great number of experienced judges. This year there are 5 seats on the Common Pleas Court with no elected incumbent. So we're having a number of judges that will be elected for the first time. And I think it is really important to have somebody that has a broad background in litigation. I have been a trial lawyer my entire career, trying a broad types of cases, broad range of cases, everything from dog bites, auto accidents, to employment discrimination cases, to complex construction disputes. And that's the kind of experience you need to have on the Common Pleas Court to be able to deal with a very busy docket in an efficient manner, with an understanding of the law, but most importantly, it's from all those years of experience in dealing with people. Because no matter what happens in court, every single case is the most important case to the people that are involved. And you need to have judges that are committed to serving the community and the parties that are involved in the case. So that's the reason that I'm running for a judge for Common Pleas.
Thank you very much. Next, we have one of our very own, Ramona Reyes.
Buenas noches todos. Bueno, bien. El resto de LULAC digo, que protejan, que Dios proteja nuestra libertad. LULAC's prayer said, may God protect our liberties. Our opportunity to vote. I know that sometimes listening to politicians is not the most exciting thing to do. I know that. But it is very important as you're looking at who is running for office, as you look at what's going on in our community, as you look at what's going on in our city, our county, our state, folks. It is very important. These people are the people that you're going to see when members of our community are in front of judges. These are the people that are going to see when you need something audited. These are the people that are important. So I am not running for office, but I am a representative of the Columbus Board of Education. And I'm telling you, look at who's here. Look who's representing. And when you cast your vote, look for their name, ask them questions, and be an informed voter. But you need to vote, and it is important. Para la gente latina, por favor, voten. Sigan sus derechos. Hay mucha gente que ha peleado por el derecho que nosotros tenemos. Y hay mucha gente que está peleando ahora para tener ese derecho. So les pedimos que por favor miren y escuchen a las personas que están aquí representando sus oficinas, si quieren y buscan tu voto. Si no estuvieron aquí, es que ustedes no son importantes, pero están aquí porque ellos creen y saben que el voto latino es muy importante. So, por favor, voten por las personas que ustedes sepan y conozcan, ¿ok? Buenas noches. Thank you.
Candidate for Court of Franklin County Common Pleas.
Thank you. My name is Jennifer French. I am an attorney. I do civil trial work at Halton and Horse, which is a medium-sized firm downtown. I am also a member of Russell's City Council and am currently serving as Russell's Vice Mayor. I will not go into all of my experience. I represent clients in all kinds of civil cases, whether you're in a car accident and need someone to defend you, whether you have an issue with a doctor, whether you listening. And that kind of brings me to my point. Why do you care about courts? Why do you care about judges? And there are a lot of offices up this year, and it's so important. Your judges are important because I think there's a common misconception that if you don't commit a crime, you're not going to end up in court. And that's just not the case. Like I said, I do law school work, and I have a lot of clients. And so, people, if you have a dispute with your neighbor, if you have a contract dispute with your business partner, any of those things can lead you in the common police court. And the worst time to worry about who you're in front of is when you're in front of them. So thank you all so much for being here tonight. I appreciate your interest, and I'm here to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Next, we have Fred Nelson, candidate for judge in the Common Police Court. Welcome.
Thank you very much. My name is Fred Nelson. I'm running for an open slot in the Common Police Court. Hopeful of succeeding Judge Schumer, who is retired from that court. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in the Cleveland area. Went off to college and law school, and then had great privilege of serving in our United States government, working as majority counsel to a 7.8 U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee, working for the Department of Justice, before returning to Ohio and practicing civil litigation with the law firm Peltavis for 10 years. I was asked to go back to Washington as associate counsel to the President of the United States. Did that and then came back to my civil practice. Worked in, among other places, Russia and Ukraine right after the breakup of the Soviet Union, working on legal reform issues over there. The matters I felt were very, very important, emphasizing the importance of an independent judiciary, working fairly, to call balls and strikes, treating all people who come before the court with equal dignity and respect, and seeking to have the law applied in a faithful and consistent fashion. I've had the privilege of serving. I served for 6 years as a judge at Court of Common Pleas previously down in Cincinnati. I think I can hit the ground running here. I work here as senior advisor and director of major litigation for our Attorney General. My wife and kids and I live out in Exley. We love Columbus, love the area, and are happy to be raising our family here. I'm looking very much to the opportunity after serving as a judge at the Common Police Court. I'd be happy to field questions as we move along. But thank you so much for your interest in the race. We're happy to be with you tonight.
My name is Tom Hayes. I'm running for the Franklin County Common Police Court. This is a court that I'm in every single day. There's probably 2 or 3 days out of the month that I'm not in the courtroom. I spend more time in this court during a regular weekday than I do in my office. I've been practicing 21 years. My practice is focused on criminal defense. I've represented thousands and thousands of individuals in the Common Police Court. I originally started with the Franklin County Public Defender's Office. I worked there for 14 years, and I left there 8 years ago and opened up my own office. It's work I'm extremely proud of, and will be invaluable asset to bring to the bench. I've been involved with the Elvis House, which is a halfway house, transitional control, addressing drug, alcohol treatment throughout the state. I'm very involved in all my kids' activities. I have 3 boys, Connor, Ronan, and Finn. I coach for hockey, lacrosse, and soccer. I appreciate your vote. I appreciate everybody turning out to vote. And I look forward to meeting everyone. Thanks.
Thank you. Next, we have Betsy Schuster, 10th District Court of Appeals. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Betsy Schuster, and I am a judge here in Franklin County on the Court of Appeals. I was appointed in January and have been serving ever since. I want to tell you a little bit about my judicial philosophy. I think everybody deserves an opportunity to be in front of a fair, impartial judge. As a judge, I am patient and respectful. I apply common sense and listen to the facts and the law of the case. Why I wanted to be a judge. I want to be a judge to serve the citizens of Franklin County. This job is my dream. But with that a great responsibility. It's a responsibility to you all to issue fair decisions and to be respectful and patient. So I want to make sure that you all have confidence in our judiciary. I would love to speak with you afterwards. Sorry I was a little bit late tonight, but thank you all so much for having us. And I ask for your vote in November. Thank you.
Honorable Judge Mary Jo Kilroy, who represents the Court of Appeals 10th District.
Thank you so much. Not a judge yet, but I can be a judge if you help me get there with your vote and your support. I'm Mary Jo Kilroy. I grew up in Cleveland, grew up in a large working class family. My dad was a union pipe fitter. My mom stayed home and took care of us 5 children. I went to law school at Ohio State University. After I graduated, my husband and I opened up a law practice, and that was back in 1981 when my daughter was first born and I was sworn in as a lawyer. So I've been practicing law for a long time and representing individual people in their cases, their legal matters, that are problems that needed somebody who would work hard, who understood their issues, was connected to the community, and who would fight for them. Someone who is committed to equal protection under the law for all of us. You know, I got involved in legal cases even before I actually was sworn in, working as a paralegal and a legal investigator. And one critical day when I was a law student, I was sitting with my husband, it was Labor Day weekend, and we got a call because my brother, who is a lawyer for the Farm Labor Organizing Committee in northwestern Ohio, had been beaten up by the police there when the farm workers were trying to organize, and he was just trying to be the lawyer representing them. So I had the opportunity to go up to that area, work with Claude for a month to help assist the cases that my brother had been working on, and to help Claude with his efforts to get recognized, representing those farm workers. I served at the Columbus Board of Education for 8 years, committed to fairness and equality and fair school funding and opportunity for all students. I served for 8 years as a county commissioner, and all the while practicing law and maintaining that practice and that hard work. But I had an opportunity, and thanks to some of your votes, I had an opportunity to serve in the United States Congress. What an incredible honor. And worked on many things, including the Financial Services Committee, and being chosen by the Speaker to choose to serve on the committee that would meet with the U.S. Senators to resolve issues around the Dodd-Frank Financial Services Bill, establishing the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. But that wasn't the only thing we did when we were in Congress. We also passed the health care bill, and I helped to get the DREAM Act through the U.S. House of Representatives, because I was bringing to them the example of a case of a dreamer out of the Cincinnati area, a young man who had just gotten stopped for a traffic violation, but came into this country as a baby with his parents and did not have the requisite papers, even though he was a star athlete for that high school and an honor roll student. Brought that case, that Ohio case, to the floor, and I worked the floor, kind of helped me whip the vote there to help get that DREAM Act passed the House of Representatives. Those are my commitments to justice, to fairness, to equality, and those are things that I would bring to the bench, and that I would ask for your vote and your help in this election. Thank you so much.
My name is Chris Brown. I grew up in the south end of Columbus. I'm a lifelong Franklin County resident. I went to Columbus South High School. When I was growing up, there was no such thing as the King Lincoln District. This didn't exist. This was just a rundown neighborhood, and there were a lot of black properties. What's going on here in the last decade is pretty amazing. And I'm glad to be able to say that I've been here to see how this community has grown. I used to work as a prosecutor in Franklin County. I spent 6 years there, 4 years in the Special Victims Unit, prosecuting child abuse, sexual assault, like that. Now I work as a defense attorney, representing clients from every age and income bracket down to from murders and rapes and speeding tickets. So I've seen both sides of how the criminal law affects our community. I've seen how it affects victims and how it affects the accused, and that makes me the best candidate. Is that this idea of fairness? I've seen both sides. I can be fair to both sides. I've had experience to do that. So I ask for your support. I ask for your vote this November. Thank you for having me. I know we have a big slate of people here, so I won't take up too much time. I have literature available though for anyone who's interested. I'm going to hang out for a little while and talk to everyone. So thank you for having me. Chris Brown, vote Brown this November. Vote Brown all the way down. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. I'm in Ukraine. I'm a judge in the 10th District Court of Appeals. And I come to the court with a variety of experience, but the big thing you can get from my resume is I spent my career helping people. I started my legal career in the public defender's office. I worked as a law clerk for a judge, so I helped him make decisions in common pleas court. I then went on to clerk in the Court of Appeals, where I now sit. So after that time, I worked with victims of crime at the Attorney General's office, and also police officers, mainly in the area of helping them train and understand how to help people with mental illness. So I very much enjoy my job. I've been there for close to a year and a half, and I look forward to your support, and thank you so much for allowing me to be there. Thank you.
Everybody's attention for 1 second. I'm going to ask everybody to participate here for a second. If you are a Democrat, raise your hand. If you're a Democrat, raise your hand. Woo-hoo! All right. Well, I've got news for all the Democrats in here right now. There has not been a Democratic Franklin County auditor in 72 years. 1942 was the last time we had a Democratic Franklin County auditor. And I'm not asking you today to vote for me because I'm a Democrat, but I'm telling you, as a Democrat, what I'm going to do for you. I am going to fight for fair property valuations. We don't have fair valuations right now, and we know that because we have a record number of appeals in Franklin County. We can do better. We need a quick appeal process. We don't have that now. It can take 1 to 2 years. And a lot of people will say, Mike, I rent, or I really don't care about my property valuation. Well, even if you rent, guess what? If your landlord's paying too much in property taxes, you're paying too much in rent. It affects everybody in here. So we're going to fight for fair property valuations and speedy appeals. We want transparency and accountability in our office. We've got major problems right now. It's time for a change, and I'm asking for your support. I'm a lawyer by training. I've been a member of Arlington City Council now for 3 years. I'm married to my high school sweetheart, Debbie. We've got 2 boys, Jack and Sam, and a daughter in heaven. But we're committed, and I think with my experience with the City Council, working with Democrats and Republicans, we got to work together to move Franklin County forward. So I've got a proven track record on council. I'm a lawyer and a small business owner. But most importantly, I care about public service and trying to make our community better. And I can tell you, I've spent the last year really with many of these candidates on the campaign trail. We have some unbelievable judicial, Senate, representative candidates, Court of Appeals. I think it's the best field we've ever had, in all honesty. So I'm asking, the most important thing that you need to do is vote. And the election is not November 4th. The election starts this coming Tuesday. The election starts in 5 days. We're asking you to vote early. Ask your friends and family to vote early. Everybody's talking about over the top of the ticket this, that. I don't believe it. Franklin County has the most dedicated residents. We're going to vote because your vote does matter. So thank you, LULAC. It's an amazing organization. Thank you for what you do. And I'm looking forward to being your next auditor. I'm Mike Shack. I hope you understand.
You should have us come behind each other because we've been dubbed M&M on the campaign trail. Mike and Monica have been running full-fledged for the last year or so. My name is Monica Hawkins, and I'm running for Franklin County Common Police Court. My native. I was born and raised on the south side of Columbus. Currently live on the east side. I went to Columbus Public School System, graduated, went to the Ohio State University, where I had a wonderful son along the way, in addition to obtaining a bachelor's in criminal justice. I started working for Franklin County Children's Services as a caseworker, working with families, loving families, working with families in some of the most vulnerable situations, but always handling people with fairness, with dignity, and with respect. Fell in love with a lot of my clients, have seen them along the way, and have seen people do well, and have overcome a lot of obstacles to get off of drugs. I've dealt with substance abuse, dealt with mental health, dealt with behavioral challenges, dealt with school issues, dealt with poverty and blight, vacant homes, trafficking before it became human trafficking and other people became aware of it. So as a caseworker, I've had my hand on the pulse of Franklin County. While I was a caseworker, renewed a dream and went back to school. Went to law school at Capital University Law School. Also have my master's in education and done some counseling. Worked for Children's Services as a trial attorney doing termination of parental right cases for over 14 years. Did a lot of trial work before a lot of the judges, been before the Court of Appeals, dealt briefly with criminal court as we dealt with some of our clients. But everybody can tell you, throughout my life, I've always treated everyone with fairness, with dignity, with respect, and I've always honored differences, and I've always been sensitive to the needs of human beings. And no matter what stage I was in life, people can say that that's common thread in me. The one thing I've always had a common thread about is injustice that has inflamed me, and almost every fisticuffs I've gotten in has probably been defending somebody else. So, with that being said, I raised a successful son. I've been practicing law. I worked for a brief stint with the Public Defender's Office, working with death row clients. And so I've kind of seen from the cradle to the grave, and I want to stop that. A lot of our clients who are on death row have had abuse, neglect, dependency, and intellectual dysfunction issues. So I believe as a judge, I will have the compassion, the passion, the sensitivity, the integrity, human behavior, psychology, people skills, and the strength and the fortitude to allow me to judge and rule over the people righteously and fairly and diplomatically. I believe in fairness, I believe in equality, and I believe in justice. And as your judge, I will provide that to you. Thanks.
I'm John Gonzalez. I'm running for Common Pleas Court. A little bit about me and my family. My grandfather came over from Spain when he was 10 years old, around the first of the century. And he settled in a small steel town in Pennsylvania. And my father was born then, and my father speaks very good Spanish, but he never taught me. And here's the reason. My mother's family, her parents came over from Italy. They're full-blooded Italians. My mother speaks very fluent Italian. When they would argue at home, they would yell at each other in Spanish and Italian. And oftentimes they would yell at me. So about the only Spanish or Italian I know is if you cuss at me or yell at me, you might get my attention. I had been a lawyer in Columbus for 26 years. I was the first in my family to go to college. I was the first to go to law school. Education is very important to us, and I have taught at Capital Law School for the past 18 years. I do nothing but trial work. The bench that I'm running for is called the trial bench. So that's where lawyers go to try cases, and we hope that the judges there know what they're doing so the lawyers can try their cases. So remember Gonzalez, and I'd like to have your vote soon, November 4th. Thank you.
My name is Greg Williams, and I'm here on behalf of our Franklin County Auditor, Clarence Mingo. He sends his regards, and he regrets that he can't be with you here this evening, but he had a prior engagement. On his behalf, I will keep my comments very brief. I am a member of this political campaign, and so I know him professionally. And from a professional perspective, I can tell you that our auditor has kept the promises he made when he ran for that office in 2010. He has ushered in historic efficiency in the office and transparency, returning millions of dollars back to our communities and our school districts, as well as giving homeowners a voice that is uncommon throughout government on any level. But in addition to knowing him professionally, I also know him personally, because I'm his brother-in-law. I married his younger sister, and even though I love Clarence a lot, I married the best Mingo. She is the best Mingo no matter what he says. But from a personal perspective, I've seen Clarence interact with his family, with his mother, with his father, his wife, his children, with his siblings, and with my daughter, who's his niece. And I can tell you that Clarence Mingo is a man of unquestioned integrity and godly character, which is what we need no matter who you're voting for in elected office. And so in conclusion, on behalf of our Franklin County Auditor, we will very much appreciate your vote this November. Thank you for bringing us.
Tenemos a Charleta Tavares, State Senator de Distrito 15 aquí en Columbus. Charleta, welcome to Canal Hispano TV. What did you think of tonight's event?
Well, I was very excited that the Latino community came together with LULAC to have this candidates night to provide an opportunity for us to share with the communities what we've done and what we plan to do to serve the Latino communities across the state of Ohio.
So the next step is getting the community to vote. Tell us a little bit about this early voting that's starting October 7th.
Well, early voting gives individuals an opportunity to go and vote when it's convenient for them. They can go to the designated location here in Franklin County, it's on Morse Road, and vote anytime between October the 7th and Election Day. And it's really important because some people work second shift, some individuals don't get off in time to get to their polling location. Unfortunately, we don't have as many days in the evenings and on weekends to make it convenient for those workers who work, until late in the evening. So we start on October the 7th, but people will have an opportunity to vote from October the 7th until November the 4th.
Ya saben, amigos, ya comiencen a votar el día 7 de octubre. Vamos a ponerle la información ahí enfrente de la pantalla, la dirección donde usted puede ir a votar. Le queremos dar las gracias y desearle good luck on your upcoming election. State Senator Charleta Tavares, and thank you for all the work that you do in our community, and thank you again.
It's been my pleasure. I look forward to continuing to work with the Latino community to address the needs of the members of our greater Ohio community.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Para Canal Hispano, soy Benito Lucio. Amigos, pues la hemos pasado muy bien hoy esta noche aquí en este evento patronizado por los amigos de LULAC. Tengo el placer de presentarles una persona que conocí hace años para atrás aquí en Columbus. En ese tiempo ella era la Secretary of State, Jennifer Brunner, y ahora está corriendo para juez del 10th District Courts of Appeals. And Jennifer, welcome to Canal Hispano TV. It's been a while since we've talked, but I congratulate you on your run now for judge. And tell us a little bit about yourself and what does a judge for 10th District Court of Appeals do?
Thank you. I grew up here in Columbus Public Schools, graduated from Miami University, and went to Capital Law School at night. Had my first baby in law school. I have 3 children, and they are now all adults, and I have 2 grandchildren. So after serving as Secretary of State, and before that as a common pleas judge for felony trials as well as civil cases, I thought that the Court of Appeals would be a good place to use my experience because this court reviews the decisions of the lower courts, like the common pleas courts. So if someone's convicted of a crime, they have the right to appeal their conviction and their sentence. And this court would have 3 judges who would look at it and determine whether everything went as fairly as it could have, if the law was followed. And they have the ability and the authority to overturn a decision or to say, yes, we agree with it, and then it would go to the Ohio Supreme Court, which doesn't always take the appeals, unless criminal appeals it does, but others it doesn't. So sometimes we're the last say on something. Also, if state government is not doing what it's supposed to do or doing something it's not allowed to do, this court, in an original case, without going to the lower court, could stop it.
Wow. Es increíble, ¿no? Cómo lo que estamos aprendiendo en este evento de todos estos diferentes puestos en el gobierno, los jueces, ¿verdad? Y por lo importante de participar en el proceso del voto. Jennifer, tell us a little bit about how important is it for Ohioans and Latinos to participate in the political process?
Think about this. If you receive any benefits from the government, you need to vote to decide who is going to be making the decisions, who is going to be hiring the people that run the offices that you may go to, even who appoints your bus drivers. That all really comes down to voting. And some people think, oh, my vote won't matter, but if there's an election for two candidates, if there's a tie vote, the same number of votes, the only way they decide is they flip a coin. One vote can make a difference.
We have early voting starting in October 7th.
Correct.
How important is it for our community or for Ohioans to participate in that too? I mean, taking advantage of that.
Early voting is an excellent way to make sure that you vote, because sometimes if you wait till election day, something may happen with your children or your parents, and then you may not be able to vote because you had to be called out of town or you just couldn't leave their bedside. So if you vote now, it's like putting your money in the bank and protecting it. You vote now, your vote is in the bank. It will be counted, and it'll be combined with every other vote on election day, and it will be counted with the election night results.
I want to thank you very much for the interview, and wish you a lot of luck.
Thank you.
Jennifer Brunner, corriendo para juez del 10 Distrito Corte de Apelaciones. So, gracias.
Y muchas gracias. Yo soy con ustedes.
Good. Muy bueno el español. Gracias, Jennifer. Le agradecemos mucho.
Gracias.
And good luck.
De nada. Gracias.
Thank you. Aquí nos encontramos en el evento del LULAC Candidates Night, y tengo un gran placer de presentarles a mi favorite tejana, a Ramona Reyes, que también es representante de la School Board, de la mesa directiva de la Distrito Escolar de Columbus. Ramona, ya otra elección, noviembre 4, como una persona que representa aquí nuestra comunidad en el Distrito Escolar de Columbus, y una de las primeras personas que ha sido electa en la política. ¿Qué tan importante es que nuestra comunidad participe en el proceso político y que voten?
Una de las cosas que sucedió hoy noche fue el rezo del LULAC. En el rezo del LULAC le pido a Dios que nos proteja nuestros derechos. Y eso es muy, muy importante, porque hay mucha gente que ha sufrido para dar a la gente latina los derechos para votar. Y muchas veces decimos, no necesitamos que votar. ¿Cuándo voy a estar enfrente de un juez? Uno nunca sabe. Los jueces no nomás son criminales. Hay jueces para ir a negociar tus taxes de tu propiedad. Hay jueces para negociar matrimonio. Sí, ojalá no divorcio. Pero también esas cosas, asuntos de salud. Hay muchas representantes aquí que tienen mucho poder sobre los derechos de uno.
Y es importante que uno sepa quién son, ¿verdad?
Sí, claro, porque esas son las personas que están haciendo nuestras decisiones, y muchas veces decimos, pues, nomás soy uno, nomás somos dos, o ¿quién nos va a oír? Si las personas fueran venido a este evento, fueran visto todos los representantes que vinieron a hablar. Si no, el voto latino no era importante, no estuvieran aquí. También la cosa es, hay muchas carreras que se han ganado o perdido por 10, 15, 20 votos. Siendo tejana, tú sabes, yo he oído o leído eventos o elecciones donde una persona fue y ganó con 10 votos. Nadie más votó. 10 votos. Eso quiso decir que él fue y corrió y 10 personas votaron por él y fue elegido. Uno no sabe si sabe lo que la persona sabe o no.
Y esos 10 latinos que votaron, ¿verdad?
La familia.
La familia, Ramona, también va a comenzar el proceso para que puedan votar temprano, que comienza el día 7 de octubre. Nosotros aquí en Canal Hispano TV también estamos animando mucho a la gente que vayan y voten con anticipación, porque es una oportunidad que tienes para hacerlo antes del día 4 de noviembre, y así ya te quitas de esa, bueno, yo lo digo responsabilidad, ¿verdad? Porque para mí eso es algo muy importante. Siendo de que yo y tú somos originalmente de Texas, sabiendo Cuando yo estaba pequeñito, mis padres en ese tiempo tenían que pagar, si te recuerdas que había lo que le decían un poll tax, que tenías que pagar para votar. Y se luchó, muchos latinos lucharon para que se lograra estas oportunidades que tenemos hoy. Y como dice Ramona, que todos estos jueces, todas estas personas que están corriendo para estos puestos, son personas que actualmente nosotros debemos de tomar el tiempo de conocerlos, porque como dice Ramona, uno nunca sabe. Y es mejor de tener una conexión con ellos y un entendimiento también de lo que hacen. Con eso, hablando de todo eso, ahora que va a comenzar la oportunidad de votar temprano, ¿qué le comunicas tú a nuestra comunidad latina de esa oportunidad?
De nuevo, hablando de derechos, tenemos jueces en la Corte Suprema que nos quitó una semana de la oportunidad de votar temprano. Si ustedes se creen que no hay personas que no quieren que la gente vote o que la gente tenga esa oportunidad de poder tomar el día libre o hacerlo cuando uno tenga el tiempo, además del nomás el jueves, el noviembre 4, no están siendo mentiras. Porque
y vamos a decirlo como es, los republicanos han estado promoviendo todas estas leyes para limitar el exceso del voto. Sí. Y tienes mucha razón, Ramona, porque digo yo, este es los Estados Unidos y por qué estamos viendo este partido político haciendo tanto el esfuerzo para limitar también a eso de que los requisitos de las IDs y muchas cosas que por eso no se miraba, ¿verdad? Se miraba en los 50s, claro. Pero y ahora ya está regresando otra vez. ¿Por qué? Porque digo yo que están viendo que el crecimiento de nuestro voto y les da miedo.